afternoon. I'm Shawnee Au, and this is One News Now. The Information and Communications Technology Department is set to roll out digital vaccine certificates by next month. For more details, Jerrold joins us live from Mandaluyong City. Jerrold, can we expect a full swing rollout? Can we count on getting vaccine certificates by September?
Well, Sean, the DICT said that the rollout next month will be limited to NCR residents as well as to overseas Filipino workers. In a House hearing this morning, DICT Undersecretary Emmanuel Rey Caintic showed us a sample of the digital vaccination certificate, which is mainly made up of a QR code that will be recognizable in other countries. Caintic also explained the procedure behind the system. But he said the initial rollout will be limited as they still want to ensure the readiness of the system. This way, they will also know how much data it can handle. Caintic asked lawmakers for a leeway of 2 to 3 weeks to perfect the system. But some of them expressed their disappointment, noting that it should have been done many months ago. In response, Caintic said the agency prioritized the administration of vaccines. He added that they received the order to roll out a vaccine certification only a couple of months back. Lawmakers also questioned the need for two systems as the Bureau of Quarantine already issues yellow cards. Officials said OFWs use these as proof of their malaria, yellow fever, and other vaccination. It was only recently that the World Health Organization ordered the inclusion of COVID-19 vaccines. While the Philippines was an early adopter, other countries need to catch up as there's a need for two systems. Former Health Secretary and now Iloilo Representative Janet Garin appealed to her fellow lawmakers to make the yellow card free, which OFWs currently get at the BOQ for 300 pesos. Sean, other details of the digital vaccination certificate are still unclear as of now, but those who need a proof of vaccination may rely on BOQ-issued yellow cards, at least for now. And the BOQ, for its part, said that it will provide an express lane for OFWs, especially those bound for Hong Kong. Sean.
All right, thanks for clearing that up. Jerrold of News 5 reporting to us live from Mandaluyong City. Thanks, Jerrold. And the budget for the expansion of the Philippine Genome Center to the Visayas and Mindanao has been approved. In today's briefing, the Health Department said the funds worth 295.7 million pesos will allow the satellite facilities to conduct whole genome sequencing. Each facility is expected to process 350 samples per week in an effort to fast-track the detection of COVID-19 variants outside of Metro Manila. Health authorities are hoping that the PGC laboratories will start operations in 1 month. But for now, all samples are still being sent to the main laboratory in UP Diliman, which can only accommodate 750 samples weekly.
Pinaka-advantage nito at benepisyo sa ating gobyerno, nahati niya at napabilis niya ang proseso. Dahil yung mga taga-Visayas, taga-Mindanao, dito na lang siya magpapadala. So makikita po natin ng mas marami, no, yung mga variants of concern kung sakasakali dyan sa kanilang lugar.
Right, let's check in on other COVID-19 stories from around the world. Japan has suspended the use of some 1.6 million doses of Moderna's jabs due to reports of contaminants in some vials. Reuters says officials believe the contaminant to be a metallic particle that reacted to magnets. In response, Moderna described it as a, quote, particulate matter that does not pose any safety issues. Argentinian President Alberto Fernandez is facing charges over an alleged breach of COVID-19 protocols. Fernandez and his partner hosted a birthday party with friends in 2020 after he banned all social gatherings. Researchers in Thailand have developed a machine to draw out COVID-19 jabs more efficiently. Autovac can draw 12 shots of AstraZeneca in 4 minutes from a vial. That is 20% faster from the standard. The lead researcher said this could lead to an additional 200,000 recipients for each vaccine batch for 1 million people. We're going to pause for a quick break, but we will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. are still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Different groups are mourning the death of a human rights lawyer who was shot to death inside his car in Cebu City. Jem Avancenia with the story.
In the CCTV footage, a man wearing a red jacket is seen crossing the street and approaching a moving car. He then pulls out a gun and fires multiple shots toward the passenger seat. The unidentified gunman immediately flees the scene with a motorcycle rider waiting for him a few meters away. The man on the passenger seat has been identified as human rights lawyer Rex Fernandez. He was declared dead on the spot. Fernandez's driver sustained a gunshot wound and was rushed to the hospital.
Nato ang suspect motor riding in tandem. Doon ang gi-requesta ng kuan ang ato ang crime lab for autopsy. Accordingly, ang sabi ng kuan investigator mako, medyo pata lang kuan gaging sa kuan. Dito ka confirm patang na recover na to nga official 5 or 6.
Before the incident, Fernandez staged a hunger strike against the condominium where he resides. He was also known to represent activists in various cases. The Integrated Bar of the Philippines has condemned the killing as it urged authorities to immediately conduct an investigation. The IBP in Cebu vowed to coordinate with the proper authorities on the probe. The National Union of People's Lawyers also lamented the fall of another colleague. NUPL recalled that Fernandez criticized the Duterte administration, which the late lawyer had hoped would bring change to the country. For its part, Supreme Court's Committee on Human Rights asked authorities to send them their findings before the end of September so that they could report and recommend appropriate actions to the court en banc. The Cebu PNP has formed a special investigation task group to probe the killing of Attorney Fernandez. For News 5, Jem Avancenia, we are One News.
And more call center jobs are expected to open up here in the Philippines this year as COVID-19 cases continue to surge in India. But the problem is, BPO employees outside the NCR are still not getting vaccinated fast enough. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez gives us the front seat to the story.
Vaccinate all the call center workers now. That's what some local government units and industry groups are calling for. In Taytay, Rizal, Mayor Jorik Gakula says most of their recent COVID-19 cases are employees of business process outsourcing or BPO firms that are based in Manila, many of them between 20 to 45 years old.
Medyo tumaas yung sector na yan dahil nga sila yung everyday nagko-commute, nagtatrabaho sa Metro Manila na exposed sa COVID-19 infection.
The country's call center industry is the second largest in the world and employs more than 1.2 million people. They're considered an essential industry and allowed by the government to keep operating even during ECQ. And because of the surge in India, more companies are expected to move here.
We closed 2020 with 23,000 more jobs. Some of the companies abroad have shifted their operations and possibly 50,000 additional jobs and probably 180,000 additional jobs in the next 2 years.
Salvador says one of the other things attracting talent to the industry is the work-from-home scheme. Call centers registered in PEZA eco-zones have been given until next year to continue this arrangement.
Our clients have seen that there are other benefits to working from home. Increased productivity, providing job opportunities beyond Metro Manila.
The group says in future, most companies will likely employ a hybrid setup, wherein a portion of the staff will continue working from home, while others have to go to the office. I'm Pamela Vasquez and we are One News.
Time to take a quick look at the other top stories today. The Interior Department says that only healthcare workers will be allowed to go out in areas that will be under granular lockdown after August 31. In an interview with Radyo 5, Interior Undersecretary Epimaco Dinsing said that other APWRs or authorized persons outside residence will not be allowed to leave their homes. The IATF has yet to issue final guidelines for the planned granular lockdowns. An Islamic State suicide bomber killed 85 people, including 13 U.S. soldiers, after twin blasts outside the gates of Kabul airport. ISIS, an enemy of the Taliban and the West, said that one of its suicide bombers targeted translators and collaborators collaborators of the American army. U.S. President Joe Biden vowed to hunt down those responsible for the blasts. And in sports, wheelchair racer Jerrold Mangliwan is headed to the finals of the 400-meter T52 race event in the Tokyo Paralympics. Mangliwan placed fourth in the qualifying heat and seventh overall for a chance at a podium finish. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.